us once again for some more free legal advice. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Today we're going to discuss uninsured motorists, the importance of getting protection for the possibility of getting in an accident with an uninsured motorist.
Well, uninsured motorist is coverage that protects you if you're in an accident that's not your fault and the other person doesn't have insurance, doesn't have enough insurance, or could be a hit and run. If it's a hit and run, the court has defined that as an uninsured driver because it's their fault and you don't know who it is, so you don't know who the insurance is.
Right.
If you don't have uninsured motorist and you're hit by somebody that's not insured, you won't have anybody that you can pursue to obtain the compensation for your injuries, your medical bills, the damages. Same as if you're in a hit and run where you don't know who hit you and you can't locate them.
Right.
Then insured motorist steps in and gives you compensation for all those things.
Okay.
The issue with underinsured is, in Colorado, you only need $25,000 worth of liability coverage to be insured and to be able to be on the road. If you're in a serious accident caused by somebody else and they only have the $25,000 of medical insurance, that could be wiped out in a matter of a day if you have to go to the hospital or have surgeries.
Right.
The uninsured motorist stacks on top of that, so you get the $25,000 from their policy, and then you can put your uninsured motorist on top of that so that you can get fully compensated. It doesn't have to be a $25,000 policy. It's just that your injuries exceed what their policy is.
Covers, right.
If they have a $100,000 policy and you're injured more severe, you can stack your uninsured policy on top of it.
Okay.
So it's very important that you check this out and you get this coverage. Uninsured motorist coverage in Colorado can only be rejected in writing on a signed document where you sign and say, I don't want uninsured motorist coverage. So check and make sure that you haven't signed that. If you apply for insurance on the computer, there's often a little check mark down at the bottom of the application that if that check mark is checked, they consider that a rejection, and you submitting this electronically is your signature.
Okay.
So it's very easy for somebody to apply online. That check mark is checked and they don't know that they don't have uninsured motorist coverage. Check your policy, make sure you have uninsured motorist coverage to protect you in case the other person doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough.
Absolutely. Is there a limit on I guess the limit on the other person's insurance that you can stack the your uninsured insurance on top of? Or?
No, as long as your injury exceeds his policy.
Okay.
You can stack it on. And your policy, the limits are typically the same as your liability. If you have a $100,000 liability policy, you typically have a $100,000 uninsured policy.
Okay, absolutely. Well, obviously it'd be a good idea to get that if you don't believe you have that. If you have any questions about uninsured policies or uninsured drivers or anything of that nature, or just want a free consultation, feel free to contact Greg with that information right there on your screen. We'll be right back right after the break.
If you want Greg to answer one of your legal questions, visit krextv.com, click on Live in the Studio, and submit your question on the right side of the screen. Watch Greg's segment every Wednesday on News Channel 5 at noon.